Good afternoon, lace jumping. I'm John, this is many a true nerd, and welcome back to Skies of Arcadia, where last time we infiltrated Valor and snuck underneath the Coliseum because, as far as I can tell, my plan is basically to jump into the Coliseum during my dad's execution in order to rescue him in front of a gigantic crowd of Valuan citizens and presumably a very large number of soldiers too. A plan that absolutely cannot possibly fail. And yes, the game even specifically warns you, as soon as you climb this ladder, everything's going to go to hell. Are you 100% sure you're ready for this? And probably not, but we'll give it a go anyway. And here we go, my dad's execution, and oh my goodness. I love the cardboard cutout crowd. They're wonderful, they're just the cocky best. So, yes indeed, we now present the executions of the notorious Air Pirate Dine and his treacherous band of Blue Rogues. Their crimes include attacking Imperial airships and stealing precious cargo, and I'd never noticed this before, but when you first arrive in Valor, the upper city is on the left and the lower city is on the right. And in this arena, there's spacious boxes with well-dressed people on the left and crowded stands on the right. That's adorable, and I'd never seen it before. The price of stealing from Valor is high, and Dine and his pitiful band will pay with their heads, and flippin' yeah, though, admittedly I'm not 100% sure, how they're planning to execute them. Is that a really fancy guillotine? Because it kind of looks like a corkscrew, they may be planning to, twist his head off or something. Honestly, I'm not sure, and seriously, why are there so many buttons? I'd never noticed that there was so many buttons in Valuan fashion before, but in Valor, buttons are just a big thing, and Marco has indeed shown up and appears to believe that we gave up, but oh no, Marco, the show's just getting started. And yes, indeed, a dramatic zoom, because Marco, I think, has just seen something very interesting happening in the centre of the arena. And here we go, it's Vice tackling one of the guards to the ground, and Dine looks cocky surprised too. So there we go, my friend suddenly takes this opportunity to kick over some Valuans. Everybody run for the opening, get down below, don't worry, I already killed the giant blob monster. And there we go, my old crew make a run for it. Honestly, this rescue is going pretty bloody well, all things considered. Missed you guys, we're here to rescue you. Come on, let's flip it go. So everybody just, get down onto ground. Marco makes a run for it too. But unfortunately, would you believe, yes, the executioner is not entertained. How very bold of you. You've deprived the audience from witnessing the deaths of a notorious band of air pirates. Now they will witness your execution instead. And I don't know why you're upset. The audience already got to watch us free our friends and trash your guards. Now they get to watch us beat the snot out of you. What more could they want? By the way, my name's Vice, and here we flipping go, kicking off today with our first proper big boss fight. And this one is a bit special because up to now, we've always been fighting, just one boss, and seriously, I love the boxes on one side and the stands on the other. That's just great. But yes, indeed, on this occasion, things are suddenly playing by slightly different rules. We've now got, a main boss, the Executioner, but he's got two friends with him too. And just in case you didn't guess from the name, a Spell Warden, yes indeed. These guys are, magic users, so we're gonna need to watch out for them. Still, before we do anything, yes, make sure we know what we're dealing with here, because now these are Valuan troops, meaning all of them are colour-coded yellow. And that means a lovely blue sword is gonna do the job. So I'm going to turn my attention to, yes, the Spell Wardens. Probably focusing fire on this one over here, just see if we can maybe take him out in one round. And this here is where, yes, we can turn our attention to one of Ika's new abilities we've not really discussed yet. Delta Shield. For only 2 specials, she puts a barrier around her entire team, meaning a magic can't touch us. And I feel like, that might be a good idea to just run until such time as these mages are down. And as for, yes, Drachma, just continue focusing on this guy over here. So, we'll see how that goes and how much magic they're choosing to spam. So, here we go. Delta Shield gets to go first, and lovely. Thank you very, very much, Ica. Everybody gets protection from magic. We go in for our attacks, and that is pretty good, all things considered. And here we go. Straight away, he tries to use Crystalli. Does nothing thanks to Delta Shield. And you, however, are going for Sonic Wave. And that is going to do damage. That's a physical attack, not a magic. Go over here, fire at that guy with your fist, and straight away, you're down. Good, 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 good. That's turned out to be a very good start, I'd say. I'm going to do precisely the same thing again, because if we can get both the Spell Wardens off the field immediately, then that's going to leave this guy way more exposed, because I cannot remember what spells you do or don't have, but it's possible they've got healing magic. So if they do, taking them out first is never going to be a bad idea. So there's Delta Shield, that's fine. Their one remaining mage can't do anything. And you, buddy, are also using magic, and it's doing nothing to me. So, on this occasion, yeah. Spamming Delta Shield, very good idea. Though you, buddy, are, yes, guarding. And also, Drachma is not the most accurate character in the world. That didn't go very well. So, you know what? I'm going to go for... Ooh. If I go for, yeah, Cutlass Fury, to pretty much guarantee he goes down, then as a result, I can't do, yeah, a Delta Shield. I feel like that's actually okay. So we're going to do that. You can, yeah, just focus, and Drachma, just test how tough the Executioner is, because even if he gets a nice, you know, counterattack, honestly, I feel like, yeah, we're actually in pretty good shape when it comes to Drachma. Plus, on top of that, right now, my team's nice and spread out. So, Sonic Wave, which I assume is like, you know, a projectile that could hit multiple characters, he's going to struggle to hit more than one person. So we're going to do that, we're going straight in for Cutlass Fury. And Jeff, we're lucky, this should be a nice easy kill. I mean, if he's guarding him, maybe he could survive it, but nope, not a cocking chance. So, right, all magic support off the field. Good, 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 good. Meanwhile, yep, Ica is just focusing, her skirt going bananas as usual. And as a result, let's see how tough you are, buddy. Okay, pretty bloody tough, all things considered. And here comes Tackle, and do not underestimate Tackle, because we know from cocking Drachma how tough Tackle could be. Fortunately, yeah, he went for Drachma there. So that's probably about as good a result as you could hope for, because seriously, flippin' Drachma can take it. So, okay. At this point, probably best we, yeah, Incram Drachma. Drachma is okay for now. He could take another one of them just to go for regular attacks. Obviously, Ica gets the Incram in nice and fast. And there we go. Drachma's now in a very good shape, including his physical defense, though, oh, blimey. That did not do much. Right, you're guarding right now, aren't you? I saw a flash of purple there. So, right, that's why that did not do much there. So, okay. We could keep wailing on this guy. That would probably not be a terrible idea. I know it's not the most effective thing in the world, but give the Piri Box a go. So getting over here, you get your attack in first. 300 damage, I love it. He's going for another tackle. This shouldn't be too bad. I think he's going for, yeah, he's going for Drachma again. Good. We've been really lucky. This fight is going smooth because he's going for basically my tankiest member. And that is not bad either. That Piri doing a very, very good work. 150. The counterattack might hurt. Not even 200. Not bad. Not bad at all. So, okay. Vise, you just wail on him. Just for safety, I'm going to, yeah, heal up Drachma there. And Drachma can give this guy a taste of a tackle. So, okay. This has gone pretty smooth as a starting point, but, okay. The style of fighting in the middle of a Coliseum against the Executioner and his, you know, special magical guards or whatnot, that's just delightful. And I strongly imagine this here might be the killing blow, because, oh, Drachma is a cocking beast of a man. Here we go, lovely, and can we finish this in style? Oh, yeah. And speaking of style, oh, we're just getting started. Well, number one, we get ourselves some experience and whatnot, and on top of that, one electric box. So right, another lovely box that Ica can make use of. Brilliant. And at this point, yes, the giant crowds of button-wearing people are apparently cheering for Vise, and naturally, I'm going to do a dramatic bow as I leave the stage. Now that's some cocking style. Meanwhile, downstairs, we've got maybe a bit of an unexpected appearance, because it's flipping Marco. And you really did it, you rescued your friends. I can't believe it, you really are something. Marco, what on earth are you doing down here? And I told you, I live here. I know everything about these sewers. This wall was built with a secret door, and I took your friends into the secret room just behind me. So yes, indeed, Marco apparently has come round to helping me out. Marvellous. Meaning we've got a moment's grace to actually catch up with the rest of the team because, you know what? This is going pretty bloody well so far, though. Okay, one slight issue, which is, we still have no cocking clue where Fina is. And everyone, of course, is delighted to see me, but okay. Probably best we turn our attention to our dads. So hello there, Captain Dad. You're a bit late. If you're any later, I'd be a whole head shorter right now, in fact. So, oh my goodness. Dad jokes. Literally, we've just rescued him from his own execution, and the first thing we get is a really silly dad joke. I love him. So yes, indeed, I always knew you were tough, but breaking into a public execution and freeing all of us, now I think you're crazy too. And I'm not ready to take over as head of the Dine family just yet. I choose to believe that was another execution pun. But yes, indeed, the slight problem as Vise looks around is where the cock is Fina. So Fina, when they captured us from Pirate Isle, they took her somewhere else. I overheard some soldiers talking about her, and it sounded like she was being taken to the Valoan Imperial Palace. So why was she taken all the way to the palace? And it appears that the Empress herself wants to meet her. I've got a feeling there's more to that girl than meets the eye. She knows something important enough to have Valor after her, and yes indeed, we know from the meeting of the Admirals we saw last episode, there's suddenly been a mention of moon crystals. And yes indeed, I suspect my dad already knows precisely what we're going to do, but rescuing all of you, that was nice, but we're not leaving until we've got Fina too, obviously. So of course we have to go and save her. The guards are scattered, the island's in chaos, so okay, now might actually be a pretty bloody good time to try and make it happen. And even better, he's got a present for us, so take it with you. It's a tiny bit early to be giving this to you, but considering the circumstances, I'll make an exception. And it's my dad's yellow moonstone, meaning yes, we're now up to 5 elements and a brand new school of magic we can learn. And unfortunately, yes, the game's tossing an extra curveball at me right now, because Drachma is going to take all the air pirates back to his ship. Meaning, unfortunately now, it's down to just a Vise and Ica. So, yes, the ridiculously beautifully overpowered Drachma is not going to be with us for the rest of the rescue. And don't forget, of course, we're on a time limit, so we need to be back at the ship before the gates open, because if we miss that daily opening, then plain and simple, there's no way to escape. So, first things first, we need to get to Upper City. You might be able to sneak aboard a rail car that's on its way to the palace. So alright, not a bad plan. Upper City and Marco, you know the city well, how would we get to there? And if you go down that tunnel, you'll reach Upper City. And okay, Marco's turning out to be a pretty bloody good ally. But unfortunately, yes, as you might expect, Upper City is well guarded. Tons of guards, you shouldn't go, way too dangerous. And we're ready for anything. In the midst of a storm, I can see the one path that gets us out of Aloha. I've got to try. So let's go, we've got to save Fina. Still, before we go anywhere, yeah, let's make sure that everyone is nice and healed up, at least most of the way. And yeah, I'd say Ica, we're going to need you to be doing a fair whack of magic yet. So I'm going to give you a handful of magic droplets, just so you can keep casting. Lovely. So alright team, keep on keeping on. Upper City, here we come. Oh, and I tell you what, while we're in the catacombs, I may as well put my weapons over to yellow and then just use that lovely Piri box, see if I can get lucky during a couple of random encounters and maybe get some beautiful yellow spells. And speaking of spells, right, that very fast dog that we saw last episode apparently can cast quicker, which, would you believe, makes everything on the field much, much faster. Doesn't really matter if they're dead, however, because I could just cocking nuke them. Lovely. Still, moseying just a bit further along, this here looks pretty familiar. The same layout as, yes, when we first entered the bloody sewers. So, there we go. This should bring us right up into Upper City. Though before we get there, Marco's apparently been following us. Vise, please don't go. My mother and father, they were both killed by Valoran soldiers while they were trying to escape this city. There's no way out. Trying to get through the Grand Fortress, it's impossible. No one has ever escaped from Valor. You're going to die this time, I just know it. And yes, indeed, your parents. I'm sorry to hear that, Marco. But I have to go. I don't have a choice. And every time I hear the word impossible, it makes me want to prove everyone wrong. A long time ago, a handful of sailors took a small boat out into uncharted skies. They had no idea what they would find. Monsters, a maelstrom, the end of the world. It was because those sailors challenged the unknown that new lands were discovered. If we challenge ourselves and never give up, our own horizons will broaden, in our hearts and in our minds. I need to push myself every day. I have to know what I can accomplish. I never give up, and so far, nothing has ever stopped me. Don't worry about me. I believe we'll make it out. I will find a way. That's what's keeping me going. I'm going to prove that it's not impossible to escape. Impossible is just a word to let people feel good about themselves when they quit. And there we go. Marco is maybe having a think about what Vise is saying. And after a bit of a pause, do you think I could ever be a sailor? Do you think I could ever maybe sail the skies?
Uh-huh.
And of course you can. You've got what it takes. I'll be waiting for you out there, and this is what I love about this game. Like, is Vise's speech there incredibly cheesy? Absolutely. But it's also just so cocking earnest. Just, there is not a drop of cynicism in this game. It is just such a lovely, sweet, happy, optimistic game, and I love it for that. I just adore it. And as for Marco, maybe, just maybe in fact, we'll be running into him down the line. Meanwhile, elsewhere in Valor, here we flippy go. We need to catch up with Fina, and as we know, she was being introduced to the Empress. Lord Galcian brings good news, Your Majesty. As you've requested, my forces have captured a Sylvite. Here we go, we finally meet the Empress, who's been mentioned a few times to us, so excellent work, Galcian. You have yet to fail me. So, this is what a Sylvite looks like. Such a beautiful girl. Her clothes are interesting. A nice specimen. Today, we have taken another step closer to our main objective. Soon, the Valoran Empire shall rule the world. And yes, you seem sad, young one. Why do you not rejoice with us? You shall witness our finest hour. You have the knowledge that we seek. You can assist us. All who oppose us shall fall. Their islands will be reduced to ash and dust. Anyone who stands in our way will be destroyed. And you, young one, shall help us. We take a moment to look over to the young Prince Enrique. Mother, ruling the world by force is not something I'm sure I approve of. An empire that does not listen to the plight of its people is destined to fall. And Enrique, you still have so much to learn. You cannot walk the path of an emperor and concern yourself with the petty worries of the people. But mother, now Enrique, I am building an empire for you. Since you shall inherit the throne when I pass on, you should pay more attention. Well then, young lady, I know there are 6 moon crystals and that they have been scattered all over the world. I also know that he who controls the moon crystals controls the weapons of mass destruction. I believe your people refer to them as Gigas. When the Gigas are ours, we shall rule the world. Now, young lady, you'll tell me where to find the moon crystals. And I will die before I tell you. What did you say? You do not understand how powerful the Gigas really are. The Gigas were great weapons of mass destruction built by the old world. They are more powerful than you can imagine. and that is precisely why Valuer must obtain these weapons. Since we are the most powerful empire, we should have full control over them, and once we have them, we shall rule the worlds. And no, humans must never control the moon crystals and the Gigas ever again. Power-hungry dictators like you are the reason humans must never control them. And you dare insult me, the Empress of the Great Valuan Empire, in my own palace? And here we go, yelling a killer, off with her head, etc, etc. Oh, you've got to love Theodora. And please, you must believe me, the power of the Gigas is not to be underestimated. Silence, wench, you shall pay for your insolence. And Fina gets a quick boop on the back of the head, and down she goes. Lord Galcian, I bring urgent news. Someone has broken into the Coliseum and freed the Blue Rogues. And what? I am on my way. Take the girl to the ship and bring her to the Grand Fortress immediately. Yes, Lord Galcian. Your Majesty, I request permission to deploy the Armada. I will take the girl with me, and she will guide me to the moon crystals. Very well, use the power of the Armada and bring the crystals to me. Of course, Your Majesty. However, I have but one humble request. I would like to request that a new addition be made to our highest ranking officers. I would like to recommend my Vice Captain Ramirez for the position. Do as you wish. In return, I want you to give me your word that you will bring me those crystals. As you wish, Your Majesty. You heard the Admiral. Get up. And maybe more importantly, yes indeed, Fina's reaction to the name Ramirez. Meanwhile, back with Eyes, and yes indeed, we've made our way to Upper City, and tragically we only get to spend the briefest amount of time here, but it is just a delightful place to visit because, okay, if you just speak to the various people sitting around here. The bathtub in my house is made out of gold, you know, pure gold of course, but something is still missing. I know, I'll have my toilet made out of pure silver. And it's a much harder life here in Upper City than you might think. There are so many plays, so many parties, I'm a very busy person. Just, everyone here is an absolute cocking star. Move over to you, kid, mag-flippinificent. My mommy told me that people in Lower City rarely get to eat white bread. But that's stupid. If they can't eat bread, why don't they just eat cake? Oh yeah, they even drop in, let them eat cake. Because why not? And as much as I would love to keep going deeper into Upper City and speak to everyone here, because I'm sure they all have delightfully horrifying things to say, instead, if we just mosey a tiny bit further in this direction, that huge vehicle over there must be the rail car. And on this occasion, let's get a quick closer look, just to zoom in with your magic eye patch and whatnot. And there we flippy go, we've got Fina. And what are you talking about? I thought Fina was supposed to be at the palace. And that's what I thought too, but it looks like that railcar's going to the Grand Fortress. If she gets taken into the fortress, we'll never be able to get her out. We have to move her right cocking now. It sounds like the engine's starting, we'll never get down there in time. And on this occasion, well, I think there's only one obvious option if you're like, you know, a super badass pirate or whatnot. And that, of course, is jumping onto the roof. Beautiful. And no, Ica, there's no cooking plan B, let's go. And delightfully, this section is not just a cutscene. Oh no, we're now just, you know, playing the game on top of a cocking moving train, which is delightful. So, right, all we've got to do is make our way from the rear of the train up to the front, which is where Fina's being kept. But before we get to that, Galcian's gone to inspect the Coliseum. So Lord Galcian, we've just had a message from Central Station in Upper City. They spotted some air pirates snooping around the rail cars. And the air pirates who escaped the execution, are they still free? And yes, Lord Galcian, my humblest apologies. It matters not. I'll summon the city guards and sweep all the rail cars. We'll find them. And that won't be necessary. We know where they're heading. They're going to try and rescue the girl. What's the status of the Grand Fortress gates? And they're currently open, sire. They aren't scheduled to close for a while. Close the gates immediately. Place all ships in the bay on full alert. Dispatch the Imperial railcar immediately. I shall deal with these pirates myself. So, okay. We've now drawn the attention of Lord Galcian personally. Meanwhile, back on top of the moving train because, blimey, yes, is this section rather delightful. We've just got to literally make our way to the front of the train, but unfortunately, yes, the soldiers now know we're here and are moving to intercept us, so obviously at this point, we're going to be taking on nothing but a giant pile of lovely Valoran guards, and I think you know what that flipping means. This is precisely why we made sure to learn Wesley. Now, it's going to be cooking hilarious if Wesley can't kill them, or they get to attack first, but okay, Ica, don't embarrass me, and they moved before you cast Wesley, didn't they? Bit unlucky there, and didn't even kill them. Okay, Ica, this is just cooking embarrassing for you, but whatever, I suppose. So, on this occasion, they cast it quicker straight away, so yeah, they're going to be going way earlier in the next round, and without Drachma, we've got way less special. So okay, everyone just focus, though actually, to be honest, Ica. They're in a good position for an Alpha Storm if you could get lucky, and bloody hell, they're actually healing each other. Okay, we're getting into enemies with more advanced tactics right now, so here we go. Bare minimum, this is such a narrow area. Yeah, we should be able to hit them with Alpha Storm pretty reliably. One goes down, the other was guarding, so he will not be coming for me this turn. That's absolutely fine. And if we're lucky, okay. At this point, yeah, with Quicker in play, he's getting a lot of flipping attacks in, and that's yellow magic electric. Basically, it's a line. So yeah, blue is like an area, yellow is a line, much like Ica's Alpha Storm. Still, bare minimum, we could pick up, yeah, some lovely experience, etc., etc. Keep on keeping on. Everything's going to be just fine. Though, unfortunately, we've potentially got some issues. Like, say, Galcian, who's decided to come and personally deal with us. And, let's just say, we're not cocking ready to deal with Galcian yet. Like, basically, cocking run. But as long as we keep moving, we should be able to just about stay ahead of him because, yes, Galcian, that's basically game over. Do not fight Galcian. We ain't ready for Galcian just yet. And come on, Ica, I'm gonna give you another go here. Hit these guys with, yes, a Wesley before... Ica, you are letting me down today. How on earth are you getting so many moves after Vice? You're supposed to be the fast one. It's your entire cocking point. Especially she keeps going for, yes, the one who's actually not already wounded. So, unfortunately, that's not great. But that looks like a counter-attack to me with the benefit of blue weapons. That's you down at least, so okay. One is dead. Everybody just wail on you. And thanks to, yes, Ica's very good agility stat, she's good at dodging. So, okay. They go down, no trouble. Thankfully, yes, Galcian cannot move during fights. Fights freeze time, which is bloody convenient, otherwise we could be in, yes, a bit of a spot of trouble. Still, by the looks of it, yes, we've made it to the front of the train, which is good news. Galcian is still behind us, meaning now we've just got to get Fina free. Issue being, as you may have guessed, that those two guards who are right here, yeah, they're a bit more on the nasty side. Anyway, sorry we took so long, Fina. We're here to get you out, and insolent pest, you'll have to get past us first, and this isn't really like, you know, a proper boss fight, but it's maybe something of a mini-boss, if you will. The game is still playing the boss music, and, okay, probably the best we could do is, yeah, just start wailing on somebody. And Ica is admittedly a tiny bit on the, yeah, weaker side. I probably should have healed her before we actually started the fight, but... okay, we'll start with this. You've activated Counter Stance, presumably the equivalent of Visor's Counter-Strike. So, right. We're not going for you, I don't think. We're going for the other one, and... okay. you guys do not seem that tough to me. I feel like actually we're going to be a-okay. So yeah, just work on this one. And yeah, with them stuck right next to each other, Ica, you activate Alpha Storm. That should actually be pretty bloody good. That's gotta be hitting both of them. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And yeah, these guys seem pretty flimsy, all things considered, but there are two of them, so maybe don't, you know, get too overexcited or anything. And they are doing counterattacks too. If they decide to focus their firepower on one character, they might be able to do, yeah, a lot relatively quickly. Maybe just make sure that guy goes down while we just do another Alpha Stormer right here. You're using a counter stance ×2, so okay, that's fine. You cannot counter a special move. So one of you's probably going down right now, and if you don't go down, then Vise will probably kill you, right? Yes, and if you're dead, you don't get the counter, so okay, on this occasion, that's worked out pretty nicely. You just focus there, Ica, yeah, increm up Vise, just to make him a bit tougher, and Vise, wait for Ica to cocky buff you, please. So, here we go. In comes the increm. So now Vise is going to be, like, it's a lot stronger. Like, you saw how powerful Drachma was before and after previously. Like, it also boosts defense, so Vise just took a lot less damage than he would have done otherwise. So, okay, just for maximum safety, I'm going to heal up Vise just to be sure, and blimey, that is a good, solid amount of damage. Yeah, this is really more of like, you know, a mini-boss fight. Basically, the end of this chapter just introduced you to the idea that on occasion, you're going to be facing multiple enemies simultaneously. Focus down, yeah, the odd weak one, you should be fine. Speaking of which, just one final moment here. I think there's a counter-attack coming in. But yeah, if this doesn't miss, nice easy kill, lovely. Though, yes, before we celebrate too hard or whatnot, trying to forget that, you know, the reason we were in a hurry at all was we were being followed by someone who we absolutely definitely cannot beat in any cocking way. So there we go, just quickly untying Fina. We're so glad you're safe. We were really worried about you. Vise, Ica, how did you... Why? And why do you think we're here to save you? You mean you did all of this just for me? I'm gonna be honest, like, 70% of it we would have done anyway to save my dad, but like, the last 30% or so, that was all you, Fina. And Fina, we're friends, we're not gonna let them take you from us. And thank you both so very much. Fina's adorable. I was so scared, I was all alone, I was afraid they were going to hurt me. And thank you, I'm so grateful. Everything's okay now, Fina? Let's get out of here. Okay, you say everything's okay, Vise, but, yes, once again... yeah, slight issue. I can't allow that. I am Galcian, Lord of the Imperial Armada. You have caused us a great deal of trouble, boy. What is your name? And I'm Vise of the Blue Robes, and I thought you were just the guy that cleaned the rail cars. Ah, so you're the one who made a fool out of Alfonso. That girl is worth nothing to air pirates. Hand her over to me. I guarantee your lives, as well as that of the girl, will be spared. Is it a deal? And abso-absolutely not. I do not trust you in the slightest. You literally just sent my dad to the execution arena. So never. I don't know what you want with her, but your Valorans, whatever it is, it can't be good. And you honestly think that after attacking the Imperial Armada, you'll be able to fly the skies freely? We're air pirates. We don't need your permission for anything. If we see something we want, we take it. And that's very disappointing. I'm afraid you leave me no choice. I must destroy you. But luckily, we've got reinforcements coming in. And there we flipping go, and nice shot, Drachma. Thanks to that, we get to just move on, and Galcian's left behind. So, okay, I will give you Drachma. That was a pretty cocky, badass moment right there. But, don't forget, we're not cocky done yet. We might have, you know, got away from Galcian, but we've still got to escape Valois. And yes indeed, Captain Emergency. They're closing the gates. So alright, we've got to get out before those gates shut. Otherwise we're, yeah, stuck inside with the Imperial Armada, all those cannons, everything. And on top of that, it's not just the cocky gates, the ships are now out and about, we're being fired upon. We've got to act fast and take out that blockade. But we've got one advantage, which is, don't forget, the whole reason Drachma was willing to come here in the first place was the harpoon cannon. So, nice easy introduction here, which is, yes, any cell at the top there that's got the harpoon cannon symbol in it, you can fire the harpoon cannon. Though, there is one slight issue with that, which is, you need cocking 15 points to actually fire the thing. So, yes, you've got to very carefully manage your spirit during ship fights, because when there's the chance to fire the harpoon cannon, you want to be taking it. It's so much better than anything else you could do. So, plan your spirit carefully around firing it as often as you can. This means functionally, yeah, the first round doesn't really cocking mean anything. Just, yeah, guard during the final yellow turn. Beyond that, just a focus. We just need to get up to firing the harpoon cannon as soon as possible. There is nothing we can do that is better than firing the harpoon cannon. So, it's fine, don't worry about it. We're taking some very light taps. We can fix up the damage later. Instead, just keep focusing and don't worry about anything. The important thing is to get up to, yes, enough spirit as soon as possible. Some cannons coming in too. Those are a little bit on the lighter side. Don't worry about that. And yes, yet some more cannon fire. I'm pretty sure that's our guarding turn, given, yeah, that did such a small amount of damage. And gosh darn it, I was hoping to have just enough spirit to get an increm off, because yes, you can increm the ship. That's absolutely fine. But on this occasion, sadly not. So, okay. Probably best everyone just, yeah, keeps focusing in case it's going to take more than one. Actually, I don't know if the special cannons, like the harpoon cannon, are affected by your character's attack. That I genuinely don't know. Oh, and here we go. I think we're moving into position. And, oh, Drachma, take it away. And we are literally just skewering the Valorans with a gigantic, stupid harpoon that does over 12,000 cocking damage. I love it. Basically, yes, the harpoon cannon is amazing. It's just the best cocking thing. Alright, blockade down. Time to make our cocking exit. So, now we just need to get through that gate. So, mosey on, guys. Alright, here we go. It's closing. Hurry up. Come on, guys. And as we just, like, hit the booster or something, I'm not sure how these flying ships are supposed to work. The door is almost gone, but with a spray of sparks, we make it out. We have successfully escaped the fortress. And on top of that, because the gate is now closed, they can't launch a pursuit. And there we go. That, I would say, is probably, yes, the end of what I consider the prologue of Skies of Arcadia. And it's one a hell of an opening. And with that done, off we go, back to Pirate Isle. Though, yes, probably something to keep in mind. I suspect I've just made an enemy of Valois. Like, Galcian is not going to be delighted about this. I suspect we could be in a spot of trouble later when he catches up with us. Still, for the time being, Vise, Ica, Captain Drachma, I just wanted to tell you how much I... Yes, indeed. Don't worry about it, Fina. The Valorans went through a lot of trouble to capture you. We just like making them mad. And Vice is just kidding. You're our friend now. Though while we were there, I wouldn't have minded grabbing a tiny bit more loot. And Ico, we barely made it out of there, damn it. And there we flipping go. We are home, we are safe, we are laughing. But yes, indeed. There's one thing we need to know. Given, you know, it literally just got my home blown up and whatnot. I think it's time, Fina, that you shared your mission with us. And despite everything, she's still not sure. And alright, at long last, I'll tell you. I am a Sylvite, a descendant of the Silver Civilization. And apparently, yes, after so many instances of Fina being confused by commonplace stuff to us, on this occasion, yeah, she's talking about something we're not familiar with. Hundreds of generations ago, the world's population was divided into 6 civilizations. One existed under each of the moons: green, red, blue, purple, yellow, and silver. Each civilization harnessed the power of its moon by learning how to use moonstones as a source of energy. The entire world went through a technological revolution, but technology advanced faster than the people wielding it. The leaders of each civilization became corrupt, and their ambition led them to war. They used their technology to create weapons. These weapons were called Gigas. They were gigantic living weapons that were able to destroy entire islands. And I've heard about Gigas before. There's a giant and a dragon. And yes indeed, so the rumours persist, but they were thought to just be stories told to children. No one actually thought they were real. When the ancient civilizations went to war, they unleashed the Gigas on each other. So many people died. And then, something happened. The rains of destruction fell. No one knows what caused it. Moonstones fell from each of the moons. They fell for what seemed like an eternity. Thousands of stones fell at a time, like a rainstorm. It was almost as if the moons wanted to make sure that their powers would never be misused again. Millions died in the rains. The stones battered the lands and leveled the cities. Every ancient civilization was destroyed. Only a few survivors remained. But even if the rains of destruction never happened, the Gigas would have destroyed the world anyway. And now, there are people who are trying to reawaken the Gigas. And you mean the Valoran Empire. And yes, but to command the Gigas, it's necessary to find the moon crystals. A moon crystal is a highly concentrated form of moonstone. The original moon crystals used to control the Gigas are scattered throughout the world. And that's why the Valoran Empire kidnapped you, to find out where they were hidden. And yes, I was sent here to gather the crystals before the Valorans could find them and put them somewhere where they can never be used again. Vise, Ica, I know I've caused you enough trouble, but I have another favour to ask you. I'd like you to go with me, help me travel the world in search of the crystals. Please, without my ship, I can't do it. And if Valor gets the crystals, I don't even want to think about what might happen. And though I do kind of feel like, maybe at least considering this for a moment might be a good idea, you know what? Screw it. Leave everything to us. We're going to help. And there we flipping go. We'll go with you and find the crystals. So, yes indeed, I guess this is finally your chance to see what lies beyond the sunsets. And Ica, you're completely right. Thank you so much. If you two were to come with me, I would be so honoured. And when you say two, I'm going to be honest, we need drachma, because we don't actually own a boat right now, and okay, we'll get back to that in just a second. Instead, for the time being, there's a mysterious noise to investigate. I'm so sorry, it's okay, you can come out now, because Fina's got a friend with her. So yes indeed, this creature's been with me ever since I was a baby. It's from my homeland, and it can change its shape. And it's usually shaped like a bracelet around my arm. Actually, the thing's kinda cute. What's its name? And its name is Cupel. Come on, Cupel, say hello to everyone. Cupel is cocking adorable. It's so cute, and I'm very pleased to meet you. So yes indeed, Fina, we've got a long journey ahead of us. We'll do our best to help you get the crystals, and thank you. I'm so glad you're helping me. Now the only problem left is, yes, Captain Dine. I wonder if he'll be willing to actually let us go. And what are you worried about? Even if he says no, we'll just go anyway. Seriously, once again, we really need to make sure Drachma's on board with this, because without him, we don't have a cocking boat. But at the absolute cocking bare minimum, Fina has joined the party. We're now up to 4 cocking members. And even better, because she's from the Silver Civilization, she had a silver moonstone. So now, we've got the full sets. And also, before I forget, yes indeed, that's you caught, buddy, and okay, you've gotta say, the young kids that we actually left here to, tidy up the island all by themselves, they've done a pretty bloody good job. Like, we've only been gone maybe a few days, and they fixed this gigantic ladder, and, got the rubble out the way. I have no cookie clue how they did it, but somehow these kids have worked wonders. Well done, you guys. And more importantly than anything else, it's time for me to pet my dog, who's so bloody happy to see me. So, yes indeed, pal. Have you been taking care of everyone while I've been gone? I'm going to assume that means yes. But yes indeed, I would say having successfully rescued Captain Dad and got Fina on board as well, how about we call it a part there? But next time, it's finally time to begin our mission proper, as well as having a look-see at, yes, just how powerful a Fina might be able to become with a tiny bit of training. So hopefully you join me next time for that. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Skies of Arcadia. Thank you very much, and goodbye. If we just hide the bodies, nobody needs to know about this. Yes! My stupid plan has worked! It turns out I'm a genius! The giant rat scorpion is not gone! Oh, hang on, there's more yet though, I'm still being very shocked. Guys, where's the NCR? Nobody needs to know.